We are back. It's John Pollock here alongside John Ramdeen and Robin Black. Bellator went down on Saturday night from San Jose, California. It was headlined by Michael Chandler and Benson Henderson. To me, this was the most anticipated fight of the weekend for the Bellator Lightweight Championship, and I thought they delivered a tremendous fight. I had it 48-46 for Michael Chandler. I gave Benson Henderson rounds 2 and 5. What did you think going to the scorecards, John? Because this was, to me, a great performance from Michael Chandler, and it was another Benson Henderson fight where you go to the judges and you're not quite sure what is going to be read.
Yeah, I felt that it was Michael Chandler winning this fight, of course, until the end, where Ben Henderson, normally does what Ben Henderson does. You have to kill this guy in order to take him out, because if you don't, you see, and we saw in round one, Michael Chandler just going after this guy because he had an understanding that if you don't do this, he is even dangerous in round 5, nearing the 25-minute mark, and we saw how dangerous he was in that last round. So when I think about what unfolded, you bring Ben Henderson in after he leaves the UFC, you spend $300,000. What for? For exactly what we saw on Saturday night. The fact is that this guy is championship material who will always bring out the dogfight in whoever his opponent is. And when Michael Chandler's on and he's in those type of fights, that's when he's at his most exciting.
And now Chandler has wins over 2 great former UFC lightweight champions, Eddie Alvarez and Ben Henderson. Way to go, Mike. Mike Chandler is one of my very favorite fighters to watch. Just the way he expresses himself, it was an interesting fight to watch, like you referenced. That dude didn't save shit for the swim back. You know what I mean? It was, we're swimming, and if there is no other side, then we may have to drown. And he just goes, and he goes, and he goes, and he goes. Pushes. He taxed his anaerobic system to a level that even today his body hurts outside of the fight itself, just the trauma that he put his systems through to push that hard. That's an element of him that makes him special, but also the ability to truly be at his best in the fire. And I mean truly at his best. I see Evan Boris is someone who's done some coaching with him, one of my very best friends, so I've got to see some footage. I know Mike now, and I've got to see what he does, and he's spectacular in the gym. But Mike Chandler, in the moment, whatever he does mentally to train and to prepare, he puts himself in a state of freedom that allows him to express his skills and abilities at their highest level when it counts.
And what about the idea, because Ben Henderson didn't do what we saw Michael Chandler do, saving it for the swim back, it seemed that Ben Henderson did have a lot of energy and that he could have maybe turned up the intensity throughout that fight to get the win.
I think this was somewhat strategic from Ben. He's a smart dude. You want to fight Mike Chandler like this? You don't want to fight Mike Chandler like this. Survive. And make him carry your weight. If you go back and watch that fight again and watch it just from one mindset, I'm Ben Henderson, I got to deal with him, and I got to make him carry my weight. And you see how much he's making Mike carry his weight. Mike even obliges him with a suplex here and a throw there. Make him carry your weight. I don't care how, this guy's anaerobic capacity, his physiology, his training, whoever you are, you cannot humanly push like that for 25. Mike had about 18 in him. It was enough to win the fight.
Yeah, I just thought Michael Chandler looked spectacular. I mean, this is a guy that I look at, it's like, why is this guy not the biggest star in all of Bellator at this point? To me, if I was going to Bellator, there's one fighter you can keep to build things around, it's Michael Chandler for me. I just think this guy is such a fantastic fighter. He's a great personality. You put him in any kind of a fight, I just look at him. He's someone that hopefully with his style, he'll be able to do this for a long time. He's not an old guy by any stretch, and someone that you can build that entire lightweight division around.
I will tell you, I think things are changing, though. Coming into work, I talked to this fight fan, and I asked him about the UFC fights. And, of course, there were 2 UFC cards that went down this weekend. He's like, oh, I didn't get a chance to watch the UFC because I was watching Bellator. I wanted to see Michael Chandler and Ben Henderson. And, if you're a casual fan, that's like, oh, I'm tuning in. I remember seeing this Ben Henderson fight in the UFC, and then you see Michael Chandler beat him and, do the damage that he did for the better part of 25 minutes. Your mind's changed. Then you see Rory McDonald there, and you see, all the stars there. You're getting a real sense that these guys are at the same level. Now, we all know that the UFC has the biggest talent pool, but Bellator, they're doing some good things. And if you're there just interested in the fights and watching mixed martial arts at the highest level, Bellator, you're going to be entertained.
I'm the biggest UFC mark going. I've never hidden that. I've been proud of that. They're my Nike. But I still was more interested in seeing Mike fight Ben this weekend than any other fight.
Over Mousasi.
Over Mousasi.
Wow.
I mean, Mousasi's pretty awesome. But over any of them, this was the fight I needed to see.
Also, some big wins from Kerry Melendez, Adam Piccolotti, and Michael Page and Fernando Gonzalez. If you missed it, consider yourself lucky.